What would you name your trading strategy?
So I never actually worked a day in my life as an accountant.
It's a hot topic right now.
We get enormous amount of traffic from ChatGPT and less from Google.
Wow.
Everybody's making a lot of money. They're driving fancy cars, flying helicopters.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and working in multicultural companies is just amazing. You'll get to know how to communicate best, you adapt.
And how are you dealing with the marketing in terms of, are you using social media?
We cannot compete with the big guys. We don't have millions in budgets. Some of the bigger brokers do.
Being able to communicate with your broker is so important.
I think the first year I spent more time in pub than at home.
What?
Yeah. We don't think what's better for us. We think what's better for the customer and what customer actually needs.
Welcome to the man behind the company. My name is David Kivakude and I'm your host. Today we're going to interview Arthur Kbejan from Vanto FX, a brand new brokerage. Absolutely fantastic. But even more important, I really wanted to know more about Arthur and what led him to opening up his own brokerage. Arthur, thank you very much for coming today. I look forward to a good interview.
Hi, David.
What's your plans over the next few days? I know you always come to Cyprus often. Like, have you got business meetings?
Well, I actually came for the hobby, so there's a paddle game going on.
Oh, yes.
And I don't think I've missed a single event yet.
You've been to every single one.
Are there any other people that have showed up on every event?
No, I think you are
the only one.
Yeah, we'll find out tomorrow. I think there's one who's made 4 out of 5, I think it is. And you will be 5 out of 5, providing everything goes through today okay, and then we get to tomorrow. But yeah, you've been to every single one.
You should consider doing it other places besides Dubai and Cyprus. Maybe some other place.
Yeah, London. London's on the map.
Yeah,
I want to do London. You're going to be in London?
Oh, of course.
In a few weeks' time?
In November.
In November. Okay, yeah. Okay, so November, we'll do one.
Cool. I'll definitely take part.
Yeah. So about this taking off the edge business, what do you reckon about that?
Well, I don't want to advocate alcohol in sports, but a few drops of beer or wine helps you to get started.
Yeah.
Let's say on a tournament if you're a bit worried or nervous, but you shouldn't have it too much.
So what's the plans? What's happening at the moment?
We're starting brokers, so it's
how's that going?
It's going. We're exploring new markets, trying to build a name for ourselves, build on the experience that we have, and it's starting to pick up a bit.
And how are you dealing with the marketing in terms of, are you using social media, or what's your plan with regards to that?
Well, we definitely utilize social media and even some marketing campaigns, but we cannot compete with the big guys. We don't have millions in budgets. Some of the bigger brokers do, so there's no point for us to compete directly with the same methods that they do. So we more pride ourselves of providing better customer service and user experience for the trader.
Yeah, absolutely. Customer service is key. Being able to communicate with your broker is so important. So yeah, you offer that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we get a lot of feedback from our customers who are really happy with our service. So that's a good testament for us.
I noticed the branding, on your website and stuff. Where did that come from? What inspired you for that?
In which sense?
So you got the blue, for example, the color blue. Where did that come from? Is there a meaning behind it?
There is no real meaning, but I wouldn't want to choose something too flashy.
Like green is for money, right?
Green is for money. Red, I know you guys use a lot of red.
We do.
But it's also like a bit of a warning, so we don't want to be that. And blue is a nice, neutral, cold color. And we went for elegance and smooth.
Nice.
Smooth look. Yeah.
Nice. So anyway, we'll get back to the brokerage side later. I really want to know a bit about you and what drives you. Like when you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing you do?
I brush my teeth.
Yeah. Not literally.
Most days. So I try to do that. But what gets me up in the morning is that I would really like to build a really successful brokerage and do it better than the other guys have done it. So there are a lot of big brokers, and many of them are very good, but they're not lean, and they get stuck to time. So they've become very big, and they're not innovative anymore.
All right, I want to take it back a little bit. All right, let's go right from the beginning. So let's go from what did you study, for example?
I studied accounting back in the early 2000s in the US. So I'm an accountant by profession.
Nice. It's needed when opening a brokerage.
But throughout the university, I was working as a IT support guy, a database administrator, to support myself financially. So I never actually worked a day in my life as an accountant.
Okay, but you've got your accounting foundation, you've got your IT experience as well.
Yeah.
Programming, did you say?
No, it was more IT support and
Support.
database management, infrastructure-related items. And then by accident, I got drawn into this brokerage in the US. They were looking for somebody to place somebody in London. It was a company called GFT. By today, they've already been acquired by Gain Capital.
Mm-hmm.
And since I was European, I thought it would be a good way back to Europe, closer to home. And I took the job, went to London, and discovered that I'm working for a brokerage, knowing nothing about brokerage business.
Yeah, but you learned, you adapted.
Yeah, well, it was very curious to see how this industry works, and I never sit still, so I worked in different departments. My CIO at the time was very accommodating. He encouraged people to know a lot. So rather than keeping Chinese walls everywhere, he encouraged people to work with other departments. So I had a deal with him where I basically worked in all of the different departments throughout a year. Got to know how compliance works, customer support, sales teams. So it was very, very informative year.
And I guess knowing how the different departments work in a brokerage really helped you as well.
Yeah, of course. So you get to know how the whole business works. And I got very lucky to be able to travel globally in our other offices, whether it's Japan, Australia, UAE,
So you got to see
US,
different
and London.
countries.
So different cultures as well.
Yeah.
So people work differently in different places. So you need to be able to smooth the gap between the different cultures and act like a chameleon and kind of fit in wherever you need it.
Okay, nice. And what was London like? You know, I'm from London.
Yeah.
Well, how did you find London?
Well, as a single guy in early 30s, or late 20s actually even, it was amazing. I think the first year I spent more time in pub than at home. But I calmed down in the second year. So
Yeah, back then London was amazing. In my early 20s, London was fantastic. There were so many things to do. Yeah, it was really good.
Culturally good as well.
Yeah.
A lot of different plays, museums. London's amazing. Yeah.
Did you get to have a Sunday roast?
Of course, yeah. Sunday roasts. No offense, but they're not that good.
What?
Yeah, I do better roasts at home.
Oh, you do better yourself? Me too, actually, I have to say.
Well, I mean, it's good to have a pub roast, but
Yeah.
if you go to somebody's house, it's much better. Yeah,
Far better,
yeah.
definitely. Okay, nice. And what else did you see in London, or did you like about London? Did you do? I know you from sport, like we play paddle together. Did you do any sort of sport or activities over there?
I cycled to work, so
Nice.
I was living in Peckham, lovely area of London. Those that know, and I cycled to Canary Wharf. And the other sport I did was badminton.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's something I didn't know about you. So that's a bit of badminton comes into your paddle play. Okay,
Yeah,
good to know.
Yeah, so I like racket sports in general.
Yeah, you've been in London. You've been to multiple countries before.
Yeah.
What is your background? I've never asked you actually, and I always struggle sometimes saying your surname. What is your background?
I'm a bit of everything. So I'm a bit of Russian, bit of Armenian, bit of Estonian, bit of Persian. So there's a little bit of everything in me.
Wow, nice.
But I grew up in Estonia.
And having so much, cultural background, how has that affected? Like, has that helped you in life?
Well, if you are an Estonian, growing up in Estonia, you're most likely very reserved. You're not very talkative. And in my late teens, when I moved to the US, everybody was doing small talk. And you start adapting to this. People asking, how are you doing? And you start telling them how you're doing. But they don't care. They just want to do your small talk. And you become more outgoing as well. So I found myself to be extremely outgoing after my experience living in the US.
All right, I think I'm similar to you here. And so my background is I was born in England. My mum was born in England, but I'm actually, my mum was Cypriot. And on my dad's side, his dad was born in Russia. So I'm quarter Russian, quarter Syrian, and half Greek, but born in London. But that's really, really helped me in life, being able to adapt to the different cultures, understand the differences, being able to speak with many different clients, for example. And yeah, so I found that really, really helped me in life.
Yeah, and working in multicultural companies is just amazing. You'll get to know how to communicate best. You adapt how you express yourself based on the people you're dealing with to get the maximum out of it. So you'll save a lot of time by knowing how to communicate with different cultures.
100%. Yeah. So what motivates you to wake up in the morning? I know you mentioned about, you want to be the number one brokerage, or you want to be a household name. What motivates you? What do you if I was to ask you, what do you want to achieve in the next 5 years?
Professionally, I would like to make this company work and work well, and at some point be able to exit as well.
Vanto's been around for how long?
We've been around for almost a year, and we plan to be around for a long time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, and in terms of putting all the components part, what was the pivotal part going from working in a brokerage to saying, I'm going to open my own brokerage?
Working in different brokerages, I have seen how long it takes to implement something. A lot of times brokers fail they don't fail as a brokerage, but they fail delivering things fast because they don't have the correct resources. Things get lost in bureaucracies. So for example, if in our brokerage we need some integration, I don't need to go and try to find teams of people to do it. Me and my business partner are hands-on enough to understand how it works. But we don't do it like in home methods. We do it in a scalable way so that if somebody else comes in, they can continue our work. But it's important that as a founder, you know how things work. Otherwise, you'll be taken on a big bus ride with a lot of vendors and pay through your nose for all these different services.
And this is why and how your previous experience has helped you to get you where you are today, and you understanding how the different parts of the car work, shall we say.
Absolutely. And big part is also, although I have an IT background, I understand the importance of all the other components of the business. I understand that business development is very important. Marketing is important. Compliance is important. Governance is important. IT is important. Liquidity is important. All of those different things are very important. It's not just one thing. Oftentimes there are companies that are focused on one area overly, not seeing value in other things.
Okay, so if you break down the business into 3 parts and you used to break it down with money in, all right? So for example, marketing and so on, how you bring business in, and then we break it down to the middle part, which is the technology. And then if you was to break down the last part, which is the finances and the accounting, how would you describe you put all of that together?
Well, slightly different, I see, but more or less, I could also split the business into 3 different components. 1 is to get the client in.
Yep.
1 is to get them funding. And 3 is to get them trading. And maybe 4th, make sure that when they're doing all these 3 things, they're happy. You need to be able to bring in the client in a most smooth way. It's not acceptable that somebody's onboarding takes more than minutes. Some brokers out there still go through KYC processes that take a day or 2 days.
Yeah.
In today's day and age, I'm surprised that they're still around.
And Arthur, I know you're very methodical about with regards to always doing the right thing, and you like things done in a certain way. How how does that? How do you adapt that in your brokerage?
I don't think that I'm that way, actually. That's very interesting that you see it that way. I do abide by Pareto principle, which is 80-20 rule. I try to get the most important things done, and I'm not going to stay and focus on the unimportant bits and pieces. So I'm
Yeah.
not perfectionist, I would say.
Okay.
And that's something that I've learned to become over the years.
Not to be a perfectionist.
Correct, yeah. I can let it go. So you have to be able to let it go. You can never get anything perfect.
Yeah, that's a good way of thinking about it, because sometimes you can overthink something and over try it to try and achieve that one goal, but in actual fact, you're losing what you're meant to be trying to do.
Exactly. It's important to stay focused.
Yeah.
One of my friends said he's using another terminology for a similar thing. I think it's a little bit too loose. He says, I'm now quoting him, I do things good enough. So I don't want to go that relaxed, but he's got it figured out as well.
What makes Vanto FX different from the rest? So there's a lot of brokers, and all brokers, let's say, are quite similar, or they have their own unique ways. But what makes Vanto FX different?
Well, operationally we're lean, but that maybe means nothing for the customer. That's just going to improve our bottom line. But what makes us unique is we act fast. We literally onboard a client in a few minutes. We have instant deposit methods available. Many of the big brokers still don't, they suffer with those things. We calculate IB rebates in real time. We don't do weekly reports. And we're now exploring in starting to offer 6-digit FX pairs. So we would like to perhaps be one of the first brokers to start doing that.
So that's a unique selling point right there.
Yes, but I'm pretty sure it's going to take off now any moment with more than just us.
I want to make this into two questions. What is your proudest moment in Vanto FX, but what is your proudest moment in general?
Well, in general, it's parenting. There's no doubt. In life, it's about your kids.
How many kids have you got?
I got 2 kids, and they grow so fast. One of them is already almost college age.
Amazing.
So it goes fast.
Yeah, I've got 3 kids myself. What's the ages?
16 and 7. So, and the second one just went to first grade, and newfound freedoms, their own friends. They're not imposed by the parents anymore.
Yeah.
So it's good times.
And how do you deal with the 16-year-old? Hard?
I've been extremely lucky. So
Really? Yeah.
yeah, we use him as a free babysitter.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's amazing. He cooks, he cleans, and he's an excellent brother for his little sister.
Wow, you've done an amazing job there. That's a great testament.
We're really lucky, yeah.
And so with regards to your other baby, your company,
the company, maybe, yeah.
what is your proudest moment at Vanto?
When we started this company, I was surprised how quickly we got it up and running, functional, with just 2 of us. It took us less than 2 months, and I think that's unprecedented.
But together you've got some great experience under your belt, and that has obviously helped
Correct.
you in this situation.
Yeah, so knowing the right things, skipping the noise, has helped us to put this company together in a really fast way. We're on a fast track of getting more regulation. We have excellent payment provider systems available across multiple regions. So it's really good to see how fast we evolve and how much we can automate.
I was just going to say that. So it seems like you've not just from the experience that you've got, but you've also streamlined a lot of processes. One in terms of on your side, on the business sense of it, but also on the traders' side as well. So traders can experience a streamlined process.
They get the first-hand benefit of it, just because we're coming customer-first focus. I'm coming from product management background and customer-first experience. We don't think what's better for us. We think what's better for the customer and what customer actually needs. and we try to validate what customers are asking. We literally build stuff for the customer, so we're most useful for them.
Nice. Okay. So, in terms of if you was to give someone advice who wants to set up a brokerage, what advice would you give them? How could you help someone create something?
The silly one would be huge suitcases of cash, but on more realistic terms, a lot of patience and understanding what brokerage is overall, not just one aspect. I've seen few people starting brokerages with sales background, but missing the operations. They tend to fail because they have only one component figured out, and vice versa as well.
So you would say it's really, really fundamental and important for them to understand
They need to understand the business, and if they
most
don't,
aspects of the business.
yes, and if they don't, they need to find the right partners so they can complement each other. Avoid single person risks and make sure that they have the competences that they need to run the brokerage.
Okay, and if there's a risk management advice you would give someone, what risk management advice would you give them?
As in business risk
As
or
in business,
trading risk?
as in business. Actually, you know what? Let's extend it to trading risk as well. Is there something that could help traders as well?
So in our case, we don't take risk on. We pass it on and send the trades to the street. For us, it doesn't matter whether the client makes money or loses money. We live off the commissions. So that's our way of mitigating trading risk. But business risk, I don't think there's a good recipe. I think it has to come from experience, and most companies fail. It's really sad truth, but most companies that are started, they fail.
AI.
Yeah.
It's a hot topic right now, and everyone's rushing to incorporate AI into their business. How has AI helped you, or how can AI help you?
Well, I'm not going to say that AI is all of a sudden doing magic, or I'm not going to use buzzwords that we're incorporating AI into our business. But what happens with these large language models now is that if we optimize our website to be very informative, geared towards AI, giving us leads and clients that come through these language models.
You're getting leads from ChatGPT, for
Correct,
example.
yeah. So we track and we see a trend where we get enormous amount of traffic from ChatGPT and less from Google.
Wow.
But that's in our case. So when before SEO was extremely important, then I see that a bit declining.
So I guess the power of optimization has really helped you then, right?
It has, but we don't know how long we're going to be in that position. So when others catch up, that SEO is less effective than optimizing your website towards the large language models.
Oh, that's great to know. Thank you for that insight. Okay, so in 2025, how would someone go about trading? So if there was someone here today and he came to you and he said, how do we get into trading? What are the steps that they need to do? What would you encourage them to do?
Well, it's really tempting to start trading without understanding anything about it. And it takes a long time for somebody to really understand how the markets work. But as a very first step, basic concepts such as leverage and risk around it should be the things people look out for, and not fall for the trap where everybody's making a lot of money. They're driving fancy cars, flying helicopters.
Absolutely.
It's the exception rather than the rule.
Yeah.
Most people still end up losing money. So be very cautious when you start trading and try to understand how it works with small amounts of money that you can actually afford to lose.
Absolutely. And demo as well, for example.
Demo accounts definitely very helpful, but get to know the very basics. What is leverage and how it works, and what are the financial products you're trading, and what really affects them.
And does Vanto FX offer any education?
We have a large number of educational materials available on our website, but it still takes a long time for somebody to understand it properly.
Okay, so Arthur, we're gonna step it up a little bit. We're going to increase the pace. All right. We're going to do a quick fire round. I'm going to ask you 10 questions and just try and answer them as quickly as you can, but you can give an extended answer. Feels like I'm just rolling out some rules here, but let's try and go with this. So, are you ready?
Let's try.
Let's do this. Okay. Bitcoin or gold?
Gold.
Crypto or fiat?
Fiat.
Who will win the Premier League next season?
You would have to ask somebody that watches Premier League.
Favorite tennis player?
Currently, Carlos Alcaraz.
Yeah, he's on another level.
He's unbeatable.
Scalping or swing trading?
Scalping.
Morning coffee or late night trading session?
Morning coffee anytime.
Stocks or Forex?
Stocks.
Favorite currency pair? Euro USD or USD JPY?
Euro USD.
What would you name your trading strategy if you had your own trading strategy?
Failing.
And give us a recommendation for a book. What would be your favorite book?
I read a book recently called Courage to be Disliked. It's quite a philosophical book about not being able to please everybody, and that all of us have our place and our duties to do.
Thank you so much, Arthur. That was absolutely brilliant today. It was really insightful and really got to know about the man behind the company. And it's great that you actually come onto the show today and you are our first guest so that, you know, people can understand the man behind the company, and that's Vanto FX. So thank you so much for today. And it was always great to see you. And I look forward to seeing you at the paddle event.
Thanks for having me, David.